Hi there, Dave here, that foreign bloke in Udon Thani, Banswan, Udon Thani, Thailand. As you will have noticed, the last video was a bit delayed, and I'll tell you why. Basically, as you know, we have a dog house on the front of the house here, dog cage, and we have to keep our dogs in during the day now because they've been up to all sorts of trouble, and unfortunately one of them tried to escape, and as I tried to stop her escaping, I did myself a mischief. I hurt my back, so I've been out of action for about a week. Anyway, I'm feeling still in pain and have a bit of difficulty with certain things, sitting and bending down, but feeling a bit better, so back in action again. So that's why there was the delay. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a few things, give you an update on what's going on and what is about to go on, and yeah, so stay tuned for that. Right, before that I want to tell you about what happened yesterday and the night before last, leading up to yesterday. The night before last, the dogs were very restless in the night. They were barking and shouting. They'd been out, in and out, and then they'd been locked in, I don't know what time, about 2 or 3 o'clock, but they were barking and they were disturbing me, and really, I don't know what. And I got the feeling there was an imposter, so I went out and I let them out about 4 o'clock, and they bombed it out somewhere, don't know where. It was still dark, of course. And eventually they came back, but they were still restless and they still kept barking and so on. Anyway, it took me a long time to get back to sleep. It must have been after 7 o'clock, but by which time Joe got up and went out. I didn't know anything about it, and when I got up, she was waiting for me in a bit of a state, and she told me what had happened. And she said she had been she'd gone up to the water tower to switch the pump on to pump water out from the pool, and she had been accosted by 2 dogs, not our dogs obviously, 2 nasty dogs, and basically they had circled her, and she had an awful job. She was there for about an hour before she could back away and get away from them and come back to the house. Now, these dogs, she said, "Can you go up and shoo them off?" So, right, okay, where are they? They're up by the pigsty, she says. They've killed one of our chickens. They're up by the pigsty. She says, "Take something with you, like a big stick or whatever." So, right, okay, so I take this big stick with me, and up I go. No sign of them straight away. Now, the footage I'm about to show you is not when I went up with a big stick, because obviously I wasn't in any mood for filming, but eventually, as I got nearer the pigsty, from round the back end, the water tower side, the pool side, out came these 2 dogs barking at me and really threatening, at which point I backed away. And you'll see why I backed away when I show you this next clip. The clip, by the way, I took later. We went out in the car to go and see if we could find who the owners of these dogs were, so you know. Anyway, eventually we found the owner. They were rather rude and seemed to suggest that it was us that was at fault. They weren't bad dogs at all, and they didn't bite people. Well, who's to know that? I mean, when those 2 come lunging and barking, you're not feeling too hot. But anyway, they said it was probably our fault. We probably waved a stick or did something, threatened them or whatever. Anyway, eventually they came, and you will see now, they took away the dog. Well, the good news is I found Flop. There she is, Flop. Managed to get her down in the end. Flopsy. She's a bit worried now though. Hey Flop. Alright, well thankfully, after that little drama, everything is in order. Right, Sunday morning, and we are due home. We've been into town and eaten breakfast, which I didn't film, the usual non-project breakfast. Why are we at due home? Well, I'm going to buy some kind of sheet, plywood sheet or something like that. But basically we're building a shelf with the help of my brother-in-law, a cat shelf in the doghouse, so the cats can come in and shelter and eat their food up away from other dogs, other animals and so on. So that's what we're doing. Okay, just got one sheet, special sheet. Okay, the cat shelf is finished, and here is a hole where they go in. As you can see, I've got a couple of them checking it out already, so that'll be good for them. They can have their food up there and sleep up there, and they're sheltered and they are not getting their food all eaten by the dogs, so that's a positive sign. Okay, Sunday night, and we came to the market, but decided we're going to have some, we've got not my favourite, but it's a popular choice here, so that's what we're doing. No, it's not tea, that's stock. Okay, 1, 2, 3 doggies, 1, 2, 3 kitties up there, all looking good. Okay, Monday morning, hot, no rain again. Anyway, we shall see if we ever get any rain. This paddy that was replanted after the rice for replanting was picked is looking pretty sad. I'll just show you that. Dry, cracked, no water in the paddies at the minute. It really could do with some rain, as you can see. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to address the elephant in the room, i.e. the title of this video. It's not clickbait, we are leaving. Some of you who know me privately outside of just watching my YouTube videos will already know that we are going to go back to Sweden soon, for various reasons, but we're going to go back to Sweden for about 3.5 months. There are a lot of reasons why we want to go back. I mean, Jo wants to go back partly because she likes foraging and that she makes some money out of doing that, partly because her daughter lives in Sweden and she wants to see her daughter. I need to go back partly because of my business. We both need to go back because we have a house there that needs to be sorted out. Originally we were only coming for 6 months and we've been there nearly 2 years, so the house needs fixing, so there's quite a lot to do there. And we are both going to get our COVID jabs. We're actually booked in, both of us, to get the Moderna jab about 4 days after, no, 3-4 days after we get back, so we get our first jab directly when we get back almost. and they're free because we are Swedish. Well, I'm a resident, she's a citizen, but I run a business and taxpayer there, so we get them for nothing there. I would have liked to have done it here, but it's been rather a disaster, the rollout of the vaccines. There's been hope, and then hopes have been dashed. We've had a visit from the village health worker who was going to fix everything for us. Then she came back and said she couldn't. Then they told us to go somewhere else. Then they told us to go to the private hospital. The private hospital said come back in October, we might know something by then. So yeah, we're going to go and get our vaccines in Sweden. So anyway, what does that mean for the channel? Well, obviously we're going to be here still for a couple of weeks, so there will be more content coming, so stay tuned for that. There will be content coming from Sweden as well. I hope my regular viewers and any new viewers will stay with me and stay with the channel and watch that content, as we will be back before you can blink an eye. We plan to come back beginning of November if all is well, and again, you know, that might make interesting content to see how that goes, because there may be, you know, a lot of hoops to jump through and what have you for us to get back, but hopefully being fully vaccinated by then and what have you should make it a lot easier. Obviously I've got a retirement visa which runs till the end of February next year, so I don't really need to come back until that's about to run out, but I do need to be back before then to renew it. But anyway, I've got the visa, so we will be coming back, and the plan is we will come back at the beginning of November, so stay tuned for that. Please stay and watch the videos and see some content of what life is like in Sweden. That is the reason why I changed the title of the videos from Thailand Expat Life to The Expat Life, so you'll notice a difference on the thumbnails as well. Anyway, enough waffling from me. I'm going to carry on with the video. We're going to take one cat and one dog to the vets, both to be neutered. It's the last, well, he's not the last of the tomcats. We've got one that never comes home, but he's happy enough never coming home, so we leave him to it. But it's the last of the cats at home here that hasn't been neutered, and he's a bit of a randy old boy, so he needs sorting out. And the dog is the girl, Jampa. She needs to be neutered because we don't want unwanted puppy doggies. So that's what we're going to do now. So stay tuned. This video will continue with more of our daily life here in Udon. Right, out on the street in the city. This place we've been to before, you've seen it. It's the Cow Mugra street food store, and then we're going back to fetch the dog and the cat from the vet. Fortunately the bone soup was finished, so we got the ordinary soup. Right, it was so good I ordered another plate, but Joe's only having the one. Very nice. Right, sleepy dog, we're at the vet's now. There's Flip, looking a bit sorry for himself in the cage, and we're waiting for Jumper to come. Okay, Flip. Right, not sure how this will go, but come to a dental clinic. I have been once to a dentist where Joe goes, but didn't work out so well. I'm still having a problem with this wisdom tooth, so we shall see. I'm not much of a dental person. In fact, I hate going to the dentist, and I really avoid it like the plague, but we'll see. So this is it, DO Dental. Right, I've had one small and two large x-rays, but still not sure whether they can see what's what. So, gonna go back in a minute. Hopefully they can see. Okay, the problem with the wisdom tooth is this. The wisdom tooth itself, I started having trouble with about 30 years ago, and eventually I was convinced to go to a dentist in Stockholm in Sweden to have it removed. This was back in the 90s, and the dentist couldn't get it out. It wouldn't pull out, so they decided to drill it out, and they drilled and drilled and drilled it into bits and pulled out bits, and that was that. It was a bit of a mess, and then for quite a few years I kept getting sort of shards of broken tooth coming through and what have you, but it was reasonably okay. And then I started to get, well, I got like a shard breaking through that wouldn't come loose, and this shard seemed to get bigger, and it was sharp, and it started to get infected, and I started to have pain and trouble with it a few years ago. And since then I've been, if it gets painful, I've been taking painkillers. If it gets infected, I'll take some antibiotics, and I've just left it at that. But the time has come to get rid of it. When I went to the first dentist in Udon, they said it was nothing. It was a wisdom tooth, and he wouldn't believe me that I'd already had the wisdom tooth. Oh, that must have been another tooth, he said. Anyway, no, it was the wisdom tooth. Anyway, I've had it x-rayed, and now they say it is not wisdom tooth, but it is bone. And they will book me in for a new appointment. So that is the state of play at the minute. Okay, so that was Future Dave telling you, explaining what the situation is with my tooth. So we're going to have some lunch here at Nong Project. Grilled chicken, som tam. An old favourite, never get tired of. Som tam, gayang, sticky rice. Right, lunch was very good. Just stopped to put some air in the tyres with the dirty pickup, and to run to the ATM and get some cash out. We're going to get some dog food now, which is right next door to this petrol station. Alright, back from town. We've got the dog food and the cat food. So it's another job done. Now I'm going to give Jo a lift over to the other farm. She's going to go and plant some trees. Okay, just dropping Jo off here. My little two friends are here. Just giving them some chicken bones after our lunch that we had taken from the restaurant we had in the car. They're good. Chap lai. Oh yeah. Happy doggies.